Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here for the week 2 times gone by challenge. I will also share the freebies with you. But if you are new here and you're not sure what's going on, this is a set of challenges that I have for the month of February. These coordinate brilliantly with the kit that I've released called Times Gone By. I will have the link down below to that kit. It's currently 25% off for the month of February. So if you want to grab a bargain, now's the time to do so. Each week throughout February, I am releasing a challenge and some freebies. And if you post in the Facebook group at the end of the month, I will do a winner's drawing. If you post your creations just using the freebies, for each post that you make, you get 1 entry per post. So the more you post, the more entries you get. If you also, or instead of, use the Times Gone By paid kit, then you get 2 entries per post that you make in the group. And then I do a prize drawing at the end of the month for somebody to win a kit from my shop. So this week's challenge and freebies, I'll share the pages with you first. There are only 2 pages this week. So we have a backing page, which I released a backing page last week as well. There's lots of these kind of coffee staining and ink staining type pages because they go really lovely with the kit, which is a very kind of vintage, eclectic memories type kit. So we've got this page here, and then I've used this actually as a backing page to these elements. So we've got all different types of labels. Some of them have a red background, some of them have a blue border. And then some of them are just other bits and pieces. So we've got a small bingo card, a few kind of silver metal looking ones, and then a couple of other labels as well. So like I said, some of them have got pictures in. These are the same. They're just one's in red, one's in blue. These don't have any pictures or other images on them. They've just got lots of words on. And then, as I said, these are just slightly different down in this corner. So using these pages, my challenge this week is to create some dangles. So some dangles that you could use to decorate your journal. So I have made some ahead of time just to kind of show you what I mean. So we have this one. So I've got the gentleman with the umbrella. I've got a butterfly on that side, and then when you turn it over, I've got a couple more elements, and I've put a key on there as well. And that can obviously just dangle. Could be on a page, it could be on a tag. It's entirely up to you where you're going to put them. So we've got that one. I then did a smaller one just to show that you don't actually have to go and have lots and lots of things dangling from it. I've just got one piece, a little bit of cheesecloth that was like a scrap on my desk, and then a little charm. And I haven't hooked that to anything because I was thinking it could either go on a paper clip or on a bulb pin. It doesn't have to be like this one of those clasps. It could be a bulb pin or a paper clip, so I've not decided how I'm going to use that one yet, so I haven't put anything at the top. But that's a nice small one, so they'll probably be good for like an edge of a page. And then the last example I have to show you is this one. So I've got some lace on the back, I've got a strip of fabric, and then I've got a lot of things kind of dangling off. So I've got a couple of charms as well as a couple of the pieces from the kit. So just having a play around really with different things, and I'm going to make some more now. So I have got everything kind of prepared, as you can see on my desk. So I tend to get lots of sort of broken jewellery and stuff, which is where I've got this kind of chain from. And a lot of these kind of bits as well have come off of broken jewellery. I have got these clasps that I might use as well. That's what I use for this fabric one. I've got a couple of these. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these yet, but that's an option as well if you've got things like that. And I've got some beads. So I think I'm going to gather some beads together first, just so I've got some things ready to go and dangle. So I find it easier to use these things. Now, where are my beads? So I've got beads here. I'm just going to open up the pot. And I chose these because I've got all sorts of different sizes, but these are a nice size and I like the colours of a lot of these as well. So let's maybe pick some browns this time. I think last time I used the back colour. It's more sort of greens. That's for these ones. So I'm just going to put 3 on. But because these are nice and small, obviously with the smaller charms that I've got here, or elements that could be made into dangles and charms, then yeah, these beads are perfect for that. And to get that loop at the end, I recently bought this tool. Now, this wasn't a cheap tool, but my goodness, for somebody like me, I cannot stand fiddly jobs. So trying to use pliers and things to create the loop is an absolute nightmare. You can get different size loops as well, but this just makes it so easy. So with whatever wire you've got left, and you can keep filling it, but you have to be able to poke your wire through this back hole. So even if it just about lines up, that's fine. So I could keep going with my beads if you look at how much wire I've got left, but I'm just going to push it all the way through, whoops, until it butts up to the edge. And then when you just clasp it, what it does is it cuts and twists, so it gives you that loop. So I have obviously a bit of wire left over, but it also loops it for me. And as I said, for somebody like me, I can't do fiddly jobs, it hurts my hands. That was a great purchase. So I will put it on my Amazon shop down below. It may not be on necessarily as this video goes out, but once I find it, I will put it on there. But it is an amazing tool. But as I said, if you're here in the UK, it's not cheap, but it is a good tool. Right, so that will do for now. I think a couple of strips of beads. Right, so what I'm going to do is just cut a length of chain again. And as I said, this is just all broken jewelry. It's all so tangled. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Right, and then I've got a box here that has all of these links in, so I'm just going to grab a few of those because I'm going to need a few. I have got the clasps. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure yet if I always want to use clasps or if I'm going to be using something different. Right, let's decide what we're going to use. So I do quite like a key, and I think I'll have these beads, although those beads would probably go quite nice with that because it's green. Yeah, I might have those two together, maybe those two together then. Okay, so this is also a great way to use up different scraps and pieces of fabrics as well, which is what I'm going to do for the next one. So let's say I'm going to grab one of these. So these are for ribbons and things. So obviously where I've got these thin bits of fabric, I'm going to use these. So they're going to go together. And I'm just going to give them a teeny little fold over at the top. Just to make it easier to put into the clasp. And then I start by pinching it with my fingers first, and then I'll use this just to kind of tighten it up a little bit. Like so. So now we have our fabric. And I'm going to attach my chain to this. Just thinking, do I want this one? No, actually that's so fine. I was going to say, did I want that a bit longer, but actually I think that's okay. And I think I'll use my darker beads for this one, and I do want a key. So which elements do I want? I've got lots here, so let's have a look. Let's move some of these bits out of the way, and I'm just going to zoom you in slightly so you can obviously see a little bit better what I'm doing. Right, okay, so as I said, they have all got something on the back, so I'm not too worried if they're not single-sided. With lots of these, I didn't do it with all of them, so these I didn't do back to back, but these ones I did put something on each side, just to kind of help it a little bit. So let's have a look. So I quite like the butterfly just because we've got the flowers in there. So maybe the butterfly. I think you're going to be the wrong size. Oh, actually no, that's a good size. So maybe we'll have that on the back. And then something maybe smaller at the end. What have we got? So we've got a little tea stain charm and got a 75. I think they're different sizes though. Yeah. But that 60 works, and maybe we'll go with the 60. Now you don't obviously have to have blue on one side, red on the other. That's just kind of how I've done it. But like I said, you don't certainly have to do that. Right, so let's get those glued together. The nice thing about the wet glue is you've got a minute to kind of slide it to where you need it to be. Oh, and then there's that one. Right, okie dokie. So now that they are glued, I have been giving them a bit of an ink, and I am using good old vintage photo. Now I did use my Cricut to cut all of these out because obviously it's a lot of fussy cutting. I know some people really enjoy it, but I don't. So I did use my Cricut to do that. I am hoping to do another video. I have done a video where I've shown how to use my Cricut before. And if I remember, I will pop it down in the description below. But I am looking to do another one because there have been updates. So while it's essentially the same, just normally buttons are in different places. But essentially it's the same process. But I will do another video kind of walking through for those that would like to know how to use their Cricut for fussy cutting, because like I said, I hate it. I hate fussy cutting. So this just makes it so much easier for me. I'm not very good at fiddly stuff, which you're about to witness. The amount of times that I kept dropping these hoops when I was making the others. But I am just going to pop. How many did I do last time? Was it 2? I think it was 2. Well, I think I might do 3. And then I'm going to close it. She says. As I said, not very good at fiddly things, so I'm sorry, this might be a long video just because it's going to take me ages to fiddle with these. And then the very end one I'm going to open and pop on the end of here. Like so. And then close that one. Right, so now that that's done, I'm just going to move that out of the way. So I've got 3 rings at the top. The rings I'm going to attach up here, but I'm not going to attach it to that yet, otherwise it gets very fiddly with everything kind of dangling in the way. So we've got to attach these 4 things. So I might have the smallest one up at the top actually. So let's try and grab some of these rings. Now I think when I did these, yeah, I only attached one ring, so I think I can do the same because that worked fine. And as I said, I'm not exactly skilled with these particular tools, so let's try and push that to the side. Oh, actually, haven't poked any holes in. That's not very helpful. So all I did was use my pokey tool to get the hole. And I just kind of went roughly for the middle, gave it a poke. And because those links aren't particularly thick, so long as the point came through... Oh my goodness, I think I've ruined that now. This doesn't have to go all the way through because obviously this is quite thick. Yeah, I've actually ruined that one, so I can't use that one. We're just going with a butterfly. So yeah, just poke it through a little bit, and then that's it, that's fine. Now obviously if you're somebody that wants to fuss around with eyelets, you can absolutely do that. I haven't, just because then that's a lot of fuss, I think, for something that's quite small. I didn't think that this needed really an eyelet. Right, so I'm going to put this one up at the top, or near the top. Or do I want my key over it, don't I? So actually I'm going to move it slightly down, because I might actually have the key kind of dangling on top of it a little bit. So I'll put it roughly in the middle. Like so. And then I'm going to put the key slightly higher so it's kind of dangling over a little bit. Ooh. See, that's what I kept doing before, keep dropping it, because I find it hard, like I said, to grip for a long period of time. Oops, key needs to go on. And that's why I always end up dropping these things. And then I'm just going to put this slightly higher. And then that's that one. So far we've got this. Oh, or should it go that way? No, that way. And then at the bottom, oh, actually no, that's the top, isn't it? I'm doing it the wrong way round. Oh, so I've put my key in the wrong place. I'm going to move that again then. Okay, so these three rings are obviously up at the top, so I want this up here a little bit more. Like so. And then this one's going to go down at the bottom. Oh man, see, told you, keep dropping these things. Right. So that's going, oh my goodness. Right, hopefully you guys will be much better at this than I will. Or somebody in the group's going to show a really genius way of doing these. There we go. And then we close that. Okay, the only thing I'm going to do is that hoop doesn't quite close fully, so I'm just going to give it a slight push, just so obviously the beads then don't come off that link. There we go. Right, so that's currently how it looks. I'm going to add that to here. So open up this first hoop. I'm going to slot that in there. Do I want a clasp for this one? Probably. I'm going to put a clasp on as well. And then close that. And there's our next dangle. So we've got 2 pieces of fabric and all of those pieces coming off. Now I have got space really for something else. So do I want to put something else in? Kind of feel like it's missing something. Yeah, maybe that flower. Let's just give that a little bit of an ink. And I'm going to carefully pop a hole in. That'll do. And let's add that on. And there we go. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, so we've got another dangle. Brilliant. Okay, right, so let's do one more. This time I might use some of these. So I probably won't use all of that. So let's try and snip that up a little bit. So these are just scraps. I have a jar that just has sort of scraps of fabric in, so that's where I've kind of got those. I've also got this, and I wanted to use these, didn't I? Right. What do I want to use from here then? Yeah, I might use those, so let's put those together. Okay, so it's that one, and then let's have something else. Maybe the number 5, and I've got a key as well. Let's go with those. Right, so that's those 2. Now obviously you can add as many or as least amount of these paper pieces as you like. You could keep going and just have an absolute stacking pile of them, but I like to add some other bits as well. Like I said, I've got lots of things in my stash, and one of my targets, it was my target last year and it's my target this year, is to actually use up those things in my stash. So I love these kind of challenges, love any kind of challenge where I get to use up those things. I'm just giving these again a little bit of an ink. Inking is optional, but as I said, the kit is very vintage, and it's supposed to be like old memorabilia type stuff, so that's why I thought having everything inked kind of makes it look aged, doesn't it? Right, so I'm going to pop my holes in these before I start trying to fiddle with the rings again. So I'm going to be very careful because this is on the edge. Okay, I think that should be a big enough hole. Doesn't have to be massive, like I said, just enough to get that through. Oh, and again on that side. Right, fabulous. Right, what have we got? These. I don't think I'll use that actually. Right. Do I want these on a chain? So quite like that on there. Yeah, I think I might glue that on there. Right, going to give that a sec to dry. While that's drying, I'm going to start hooking things together. So I don't think I'm going to use a chain. I think I'm literally just going to use these to hook from one to the other. So this is obviously going to be at the bottom, and I think I'll have this dangling off as well, but maybe one ring down. So I've put this and 2 rings on because one ring is going to go up, one ring is going to go down, if that makes sense. So one ring's going to join the next thing, and then the ring at the bottom, if I can grab it, it's going to have the beads on. Actually, I might add another ring just so that it dangles slightly more. So now I want the very bottom ring, which is that one. That's going to have the beads on. Now I do apologise for the lighting in my room. I really hope that you can see what I'm doing okay. Oops. Again, I'm just going to give that a little bit of a pinch. Might help if I use the different pliers. Ones that are actually a bit flat and have some grip. And it's just to close off that bit so that the link obviously doesn't come out. There we go. Right, so we've now got that. So again, I think I'm going to add another hoop. But what I'll do, I'll open up this one. And this one can go on there and can hook on the bottom of here. Like so. so far we've got that. I actually quite like that. I think I might leave it like that rather than adding this. I can make that a dangle on its own. It doesn't have to have other things with it. So let's put 2 rings on there. Now this is a challenge for me because, as I said at the beginning, I do not like fiddly stuff, but I'm always really jealous when I see people that have all of these gorgeous things hanging off of their journals and tags and stuff. So that's why I kind of set this as a challenge, because it's a challenge perhaps to some of you, but it's also a challenge to me. Again, I'm not going to put a clasp or anything on that one, same as this one, because when I kind of decide where it's going, I will attach something at the top then. Okay, so they're my examples of the dangles. I really hope that you join in with this challenge. Remember to post your makes into the Facebook group. If you just use items from the freebies, you get 1 entry per post. If you use items from the main kit, Times Gone By, then you get 2 entries per post. I've really enjoyed putting these together, even though obviously, like I said, I do find it challenging. I think they look really pretty and I can't wait to add them to my projects. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.